See. So for your art appreciation, that might be interesting for you. By the way, Rocky, you are getting it. You actually are getting it. You're getting where you're getting where Bai is coming from. You really are getting it. It's those flat planes. It's those planes broken up by texture that makes it happen. It's true. And it's obedience to those planes that makes it absolutely breathtaking. Those things. I really want to see that one in the shop. That the piece you just did. Wow. Um, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to do a painting of a Greek village, typical Greek, Greek, like Oceanside village, and an older village, not necessarily an ancient, but an older Greek village, somewhere in the Med, as it were. Go find a great village someplace. On Lemnos, if you can. It would be great. On Lemnos, it would be terrific. And draw it from an angle. Now, you can use Google to do this if you want to. Oh, yes, they have it on Google. Your options also are to locate some of the gold rush buildings in Grass Valley and Nevada City and see what you can do with those, and also run up and down the rivers, particularly the Yuba River, but also the American, the North Fork of the Yuba River, particularly. We were on the South Fork ourselves. We were mining on the South Fork. That's where the Blue Tent mine was also, is on the south, which is a very pleasant place to work if you consider gold mining pleasant. It is, sort of is in a backbreaking kind of way. Literally backbreaking. I mean, in the sense that you could break your back. Yeah. Whoops. Damn. Keeps happening. So, was that Rockies? Yeah, that's something else. Okay, now Rocky, something else you might want to do, and several folks might want to catch on to this as well, is look at some of the early works of Picasso. Never mind his later stuff. His later stuff was shit. It was for the market. He was trying to make money. But look at his early stuff, 30s and into the 40s, mid 40s, and take a look at what he was doing when he was still experimenting. And look at his painting technique in particular, and you'll find it to be pretty amazing. He didn't have anybody do this stuff. He did it. And the nifty thing when you're working with Zazzle and things like that, and you're doing prints, is that you really don't worry about how much time you have in a piece. You're not going to have to recover your time out of the original. You're going to recover the time out of prints. Do you follow? You'll make your money by selling prints of something rather than by selling the original. The original, you'll probably never get what you should be getting for that original. I mean, look, seriously, you want to get your head straight, really on straight, take a look at what a print by Roy Lichtenstein sells for today. A signed, numbered print by Roy Lichtenstein today. What does it bring on the open market? I mean, a legitimate signed and numbered piece. That's just a print. Now look at some of the originals of Lichtenstein. And just remember that I knew Roy. I painted with Roy. We ran into Roy a bunch of times. We had some interactions in New York with a whole gang of us. There was a whole gang of us there in one particular place, which was a restaurant. I heard his voice behind me, and he heard his voice behind him, and we both turned, what? It's you. What the hell are you doing in New York? Both of us wanted to do the same thing. And you realize that you paint with it. And he was happy to get $50 for a piece back in those days. An original, $50. He was happy. That same original today would be $750,000, maybe more. You understand? It's a crazy market, but not everybody was like that. Not everybody in that group automatically went to that level of market. In fact, hardly anybody did. His partner, Klaus Oldenburg, was very, very well known at the time, but you're not going to get as much money for an Oldenburg as you will for a Liechtenstein, just out of sheer happenstance, you know. It's just how it happened. Unless it's a rare piece. Marketplace is a very interesting kind of a crashing, sort of smashing place where all these things collide at once. And the surviving vibrations are the higher vibrations always. The lower heavy vibrations cancel each other out eventually.